Lord, deliver us. And, then the word would come in and would start turning around into, but we all know that nothing here could be as good as Zion. Nothing here could be as good as, the New Jerusalem, which is who we are. We are the new dimension, the New Jerusalem. God basically, where is God's throne? In us. Why do we need to be spotless? So he can reside in us. To yearn for him to reside in us. What would that do power-wise? We wouldn't be here on this planet in this dimension. It would be something totally different. And it's the thing people yearn to go back to because they have like a memory of it. And that's weird because here we are now. Brother Thomas would call that a preview or a pre-memory of something to come in the future, like a glimpse. I call it a memory because I'm just going to flat out say it. I am a complete and total. I don't have a system like in the East, but in terms of, if you think you've lived in whatever form, because you have. I read the scriptures about John the Baptist and Elijah and Jesus and all that. I see it for what it is. I'm not going to harp on it. Because I've had states of being, and I even exist right now that I'm talking to you in another state of being somewhere else where I'm already that person that I'm yearning to get back to. I'm already there, just that I'm aware of here. So it can't be explained in terms of reincarnation exactly like the Eastern folk, linear progression thing. I don't buy into that, but I do buy into multiple location, multiple incarnation of each being. And infinite possibilities when one is set free. We're in a prison right now. We're not allowed to think those thoughts, or we're not allowed to get out of here. We're not allowed to take the Ferrari out for a spin. We'd like to, but we're not allowed to. Well, a little bit of that is lifting because, if you look at the promises of God, and if you really understand when the Lord calls us to be his own, and you look at the story of the two witnesses, and you look at the story of who had powers. Yes, we can look at the two witnesses. I just think the two witnesses are as well us. There may be some special super guys like with a little W on their chest and a cape. I don't know. But that increasing of power is kind of what I'm talking about. Yours is subtle to where, you heal someone by walking into the room and leaving, not even knowing who it was that you healed. That's what I'm talking about. You walk by and all the lights go on. That's what I'm talking about. You say nothing, but a whole sermon is preached. That's what I'm talking about. You will now have the capability of interacting with angels and seeing things that other people won't see. That will bring you, it's a gift because it's going to make you more interested in the things of the Lord, because you're going to see things that are not hokey at all. They're not like chick tracts, that are just mind-blowing to you, and it's going to get you really more interested in the Word, and you're going to just be completely dedicating yourself as the bride of Christ. You're the bride. We're in a way, we're the damsel in distress waiting to be rescued, but we're the New Jerusalem. We are the whole purpose of this creation was the fulfillment of that the New Jerusalem is the fruit of this whole thing, although it's not connected up. It's a mystery in the Bible. It looks like Deus Ex Machina, Deus Ex Machina, yes, I was educated. Deus Ex Machina in Greek tragedy and in Greek plays, I should say not necessarily tragedies, but Greek plays, and Greece was really developed the play, Remember Oedipus? Well, anyway, in Greek plays, sometimes and more so in Roman plays, actually, than Greek. The Romans, I think it was the Romans who invented Deus Ex Machina, because you had the gods up there, Zeus and all that. So when they got to a plot point they couldn't resolve, where the hero looked like there's no way out of this mess he's in, there'd be something from the gods above. A machine would come down onto the proscenium, and would take out the opposition. And the hero would win. And the people would cheer. That's what they call Deus Ex Machina, God from above, or God machine. You know, the God machine would intervene. Deus Ex Machina. I'm not sure what Ex means, but Machina is a machine in Latin. Like a car, a chariot could be a machina. A coffee machine is a machina. And in Italian, that, you know, similar. Right? In Spanish, yeah. So this thing comes down from above, you know, like the New Jerusalem. And goody, we get to all hop on board. And I was having a talk with a brother the other day, and it was like, yeah, you know, why do we make it so complicated? We are the New Jerusalem. I mean, why do we have to make it everything like a location in a comic book art? You know, like Chick Tracts, which I just hate those. They're the same kind of artwork that you see in the Jehovah's Witnesses books. And I hate that. And the Mormon books, come to think of it, and I hate that too. Now, I love music, you know, like Amazing Grace and classical music and inspired music. I guess it's who it comes from. You know, if, say, Brother Thomas sung Amazing Grace, or Kelly or somebody else that I've worked with, I would just be in tears. But if one of them sings it in their 501c3, I'm offended, and I don't want to be offended. It comes up in me like a little bit of a BS detector. It comes up, and it puts a little radar out. Goes, oh, that's not coming. But on the other hand, I'm saying, yeah, but look, wouldn't you rather have that song being sung? It's like, no, I'd rather see some heavy metal talking about Jesus, man. If you're going to give me that, give me heavy metal. I would love to do it. If there's any heavy metal, serious artists, I'm always going to be auditioning people for that. Now, in the two witnesses, we have power that if anyone dare to touch them, or if they see anyone doing anything they don't want done or whatever, they can strike them and kill them. Anything. And this is a mystery, and we're going to need to spend days just on the two witnesses, because it can't be explained away so easily. If Christ is Christ, and forgiveness is king, and letting them kill you is how you win, how do you explain the two witnesses? Well, it's a double-edged sword. There is a time for war and killing the enemy at the same time. And that was another vision I had, that there will be factions that will kill in the name of Christ as in the days of old. Absolutely. And they're going to try to, but it won't be by just sword power. It will be by supernatural power. And who is going to be the lamb and who will be the lion is determined by the Lord. But one thing is for sure, that power of the lion, of the lamb, is rising equally to Obama moving the Sandy storm and all the things that they did. And you're not talking about just one person. You're talking about covens, witchcraft, Kenya, here, there, Europe, Asia, where the whole Asian, China is completely based on one thing, and that's Luciferianism. I mean, it's their uniforms and all that. It's completely that. There's nothing but that. Because that's what communism is. It's Satanism. It's just Satanism physicalized, is all it is. And so, yeah, on the Zeph report, you were to understand these days. You knew this economy was going to happen. It's been done intentionally by people who intended to do harm to you and your family. And they have. And they're just people. Do you ever wonder why there's been no opposition? Supernatural. Because I don't care what I'm not even talking about might. I'm talking about opposition. Any kind of opposition. You ever wonder why the Republican Party were turned into victims? Because their minds were taken over. They have the majority in the House, And they could stop whatever plan, but they've been hypnotized to think they have to bow down. I mean, don't you see? Well, maybe with this new infusing of power. Oh yes, another one of the powers that you'll receive is the power of energy. Being energized, being excited, being positive. It's hard to be negative when you got this beam coming at you from God. It's impossible. You're going to be, rejuvenated. That's another power that the Lord has spoken of very clearly. Rejuvenation is a big part of it. That's a theme that's happened throughout the Bible for God's people. Of course, the big example would be Abraham, right? Oh yeah, there's no slowing down of that guy. No. So, likewise with you. Why? Because God knows. He knows that his people need to be empowered. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair. I mean, it would be like one power out of equilibrium raises up without the other power causing equilibrium. It's unnatural. It's not. If you study nature and God's creation, you'll see he makes everything to come to equilibrium, including this. So just have confidence. Why have you lost your confidence? Why do you feel like a victim? So we need to be talking about what's music? What does music have to do with anything? Music is far more powerful than sitting here talking. I know people don't realize this, but music, put on the iPod or the car stereo or at home or whatever, you watch YouTubes with the right music, it changes the atmosphere, changes things. It can actually heal you. You can actually get empowered and you can have a change. I know that the voice is also music. I know that. The word and the tones are what music is. I understand that. So when you hear when you hear this voice, it changes things. So we got to put out a lot more tones, a lot more frequencies coming from inspiration from the Almighty Yah to change things. And it's another one of these powers, like the two witnesses. This is bringing something out from the ether in here that seems to zap the destiny. Because a lot of these people think right now, they think, oh, we're going to get it. Obama's got the power now. We're going to get ours. I got news for them. They will never attain their kingdom. They will never really attain their new world order, their new Atlantis. They will not attain anything new. They will reap the whirlwind, and the whirlwind is what they're going to get. My friend, the Lord God, Yahweh Almighty, Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, he is about to open up a big can of whoop-ass, and it's called you. And with that, I bid you shalom, and I'll see you next time. In us. Why do we need to be spotless? So he can reside in us. To yearn for him, to reside in us. What would that do power-wise? We wouldn't be here on this planet in this dimension. It would be something totally different. And it's the thing people yearn to go back to, because they have like a memory of it. And that's weird to get back to. I'm already there, just that I'm aware of here. So it can't be explained in terms of reincarnation exactly like the Eastern folk, linear progression thing. I don't buy into that, but I do buy into multiple location, multiple incarnation of each being. And infinite possibilities when one is set free. We're in a prison right now. We're not allowed to think those thoughts, or we're not allowed to get out of here. Lord, deliver us. And, then the word would come in and would start turning around into, but we all know that nothing here could be as good as Zion. Nothing here could be as good as, the New Jerusalem, which is who we are. We are the new dimension, the New Jerusalem. God basically, where is God's throne? No, you have. I read the scriptures about John the Baptist and Elijah and Jesus, and and all that. I see it for what it is. I'm not going to harp on it, because I've had states of being, and I even exist right now that I'm talking to you in another state of being somewhere else where I'm already that person that I'm yearning. Because here we are now, Brother Thomas would call that a preview or a pre-memory of something to come in the future, like a glimpse. I call it a memory because I'm just going to flat out say it. I am a complete and total. I don't have a system like in the East, but in terms of, if you think you've lived in whatever form, because